So hello everyone, this is my second lecture on network theory. Hope you guys are doing well. So let's start. Now what is a current? What is current? It is the rate of change of flow of charges. It is the rate of change of flow of charge. Current is the rate of change of flow of charge. Okay. Now, what are different types of current? Number one is conduction current. Second one is the convection current. Third is the displacement current. Okay. Now what is conduction current? It is a current which requires any conducting medium to flow. Okay. It requires a conducting medium to flow. Okay. This is conduction current. Now convection current. It is the current which do not require any conducting medium to flow. Okay. Suppose in case of thundering, okay, it is the example of convection current. It do not require any conducting medium to flow. Now displacement current. To understand displacement current, let's draw a circuit. Okay. This is a AC supply. Okay. AC supply. A switch we have connected. There is a capacitor. Okay. AC supply, switch, capacitor. As soon as we switch on the supply, switch on, current will start to flow in this direction. Okay. Current will start to flow in this direction. Okay. And in the positive half cycle, positive charges will store in this plate. Okay. This is one plate of a capacitor. Positive charges will get accumulated in this plate. As this is AC supply, with time, these charges will increase, and the negative half cycle will decrease. It will increase, it will decrease. So it's kind of change of charge in this plate. Yes or no? This kind of change of charge with time in this plate. Okay? The positive half cycle, suppose it will go on increasing, in the negative half cycle will go on decreasing. Change of charge. And due to this charge, due to this change of charge, the current that will form is known as the displacement current. Okay? And the current in this conducting wire will be known as the conduction current. Got it? Okay? So, now let's discuss how the current flows. Let's draw an iron rod. Okay? Suppose this is an iron rod. Okay, length is suppose L, cross sectional area is A. It will have some atom inside. Suppose this is an atom. There will be a nucleus and a valence electron. This valence electron is loosely connected to the nucleus. Okay. There is an atom inside this iron rod, there will be a nucleus. This is a nucleus. Okay, this is a nucleus. This is the valence electron, and this valence electron is loosely connected to the nucleus. As soon as we keep it in room temperature, this iron rod, as soon as it comes in contact with the room temperature, what will happen is that this electron will get some energy. Okay, and due to that energy, it will get break from the nucleus. The bond that was formed between nucleus and the valence electron will get break as soon as it comes in contact with the room temperature. It will get some energy and it will become free. Okay, as this electron and the nucleus are loosely connected, means the bond is very much, the force between this nucleus and the electron is very less. As soon as it comes in contact with the room temperature, this electron will get some energy and will become free. It will become free electron. It will become free electron. Okay. In any random motion, it will start moving in any random motion. Suppose like this. Any zigzag path you can consider. The electron will keep on moving. Now suppose we assume any cross-sectional area. Okay. Suppose I am assuming a cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area. As these electrons are in random motion, we can say that the net flow of electron, there is a net flow of charges in this direction will become equal to the electrons moving in that direction, as this will be in random motion. At some point we can assume that the net flow of electrons in this direction will become equal to the net flow of charges in opposite direction. And as we know that the flow of charges is the current, so net flow of current will become 0. Net flow of current equal to 0, and this condition is known as the thermal equilibrium. Okay, in case of thermal equilibrium, means this condition that we achieved is known as the thermal equilibrium. Net means the flow of charges in this direction, and the flow of charges in this direction will become equal, and due to that the net flow of charge through this imaginary surface will become equal to 0, and due to that the net flow of current is equal to 0 through this imaginary surface, and this is known as the thermal equilibrium. What? Thermal equilibrium. Now what to do? As the net flow of current is 0, now we need to apply an electric field so that the electrons get aligned in a particular direction. Now what is the electric field? So let's understand. An electric field is flow of charge per unit length. Okay, one more definition is there. This is number 1. Second one is potential difference per unit length. Flow of charge per unit length or potential difference per unit length. Suppose this is the iron rod which we considered and we apply a battery source. Suppose V volt is something V volt. The L length cross sectional area is A. Okay. As soon as we apply this battery source, what will happen is that plus charges will get accumulated here. There will be minus charges. Okay. And the electric field will be set up from this, means in this direction. There is the plus to minus. Our electric field will get set up. Once the electric field will get set up, the electrons will now start to flow in the opposite direction of the electric field. Okay? All the electrons that are in random motion will start flow in the direction opposite to the electric field. So now in this case the net flow of charges is not equal to 0. It will align in a certain direction, and the direction will be opposite to the direction of electric field. Now there will be the flow of current. Okay, in this direction. Actually the current direction is the take is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Direction of current is opposite to the flow of opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So now the current will flow. Okay. Now the average velocity with which this electron moves in this direction is known as the drift velocity. The average velocity with which this electron moves after applying the electric field is known as the drift velocity. Okay. And it is equal to Vd equal to E tau by ME. E is the charge of electron, capital E is the electric field, ME is the mass of electron, and tau is the relaxation time. Now what is this relaxation time? It is time taken by the electron between two successive, means time taken during a successive collision. As the electrons will flow, it is a time taken by the electrons between a successive collision. It is known as the relaxation time. Okay. Between a successive collision it means that the electrons will collide another electron. Okay, the time between the collision, one electron will collide another electron, and that time is known as the relaxation time. Okay. Now let's study Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that I is directly proportional to V. Okay, I is directly proportional to V. Condition is that physical condition, other physical conditions or the temperature should be constant. Now many of you can say that V is also proportional to I, but what is the correct statement is that I is proportional to V, because in your home, if you see the power socket, potential difference between the two terminals of the socket is always present. Okay, potential difference is always present. The current will only come when the load is connected. Means potential difference is always present. Current will only come when load is connected. Okay, means I is proportional to V. I is proportional to V. Now this proportionality constant can be replaced by a constant known 1 by R, and this R is known as resistance of the material. Resistance of the material. Okay? Means V equal to IR or R equal to V by I. And R is equal to rho L upon A, where rho is the resistivity of the material, length of the material, and a cross-sectional area of the conductor which we take. Okay, so resistance is constant. It only depends on the resistivity, that is the material, length of the material, and the cross-sectional area. Remember, R doesn't depend on V and I. R only depends on this term. There is a material, length of the material, and area, cross-sectional area. It is independent of V and I. Now you will say that it is depending on V and I, as if R equal to V upon I. You may think of like that, but it is not like this. It only means that if we apply a potential difference across a conductor, then the current that will flow through that conductor will be such that the V by I ratio is a constant, is equal to the resistance R. One more time I am saying, if we apply a potential difference V, the current that will flow through the conductor will be such that V by I is constant. So V by I will be always constant, that is equal to R. And this is only true if the temperature is constant. If temperature varies, then R will start depending on V and I. Okay? For a particular conductor, resistance is always constant. But if temperature is different, then resistance will vary. Okay? It will start depending on V and I. And Ohm's law is only true if temperature is constant. Okay? It will not vary if temperature becomes, if temperature is means not constant, then Ohm's law will not be valid. Okay? So let's end today's lecture. Okay? And if you like my if you like the lecture, if you got to learn something, do like it, subscribe my channel, and also share with your friends, and do comment in the comment box if something that is required to be improved, or if you have any doubts. Okay, you can comment in the comment box. Till then, take care. Thank you.